Hello everybody, my name is Megan and welcome back to Live Fulfilled. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I aim to make videos every single week. So today's video is going to be on 5 life lessons that traveling has taught me. So the first thing that traveling has taught me is that you don't need stuff to be happy. We live in a society of consumerism, which I'm actually going to be doing a post on my blog on consumerism that I will have linked down below. But we just live in such a consumerist society, I don't even know how you would word that. And everything that we see and everything that we read, and people are like, you have to have this to be happy, and you have to have that, and if you don't have the latest, and if you don't have the greatest, and you don't have the biggest, and you don't have the best, you can't be happy. And it's just not true. The happiest I've ever been is when I've been living out of a suitcase. I didn't have stuff, but I was happy. And that was kind of a surprise, because the first time that I went down, it was to Belize. And I mean, I should do my story of like the stuff I used to have. Oh God, I had stuff. And I was living out of the suitcase, and I think that's really when it hit me that, oh my God, I'm happy and I don't have stuff, but it's okay. And that's when I actually came home and really started minimizing what I had. And the second thing that traveling has taught me is flexibility and patience. So it's taught me flexibility as in like living in different areas, different places, different houses, different hotels, climates, blah, 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 blah. And it's just taught me to be really flexible in like what I need, what I do, what I want. And it just has really taught me to go with the flow and not be so wrapped up in like a routine that I have to do this and I have to do that or my life is over. And it's taught me patience because sometimes you just have to be patient. Like you go and you get on an airplane and then that plane gets delayed and you get stuck in an airport for 12 hours and you just have to be patient, and that's all there is to it. So the third thing that traveling has taught me is that there's so much I don't know about the world. I grew up in Utah and we're just a super conservative state and we don't have a lot of racial diversity. We don't really have any of that. And traveling, you go, I mean, even like to other parts of the United States, like the first time I went to Florida, it was like this massive culture shock. I'm like, what? This is so different than what, the way that we live. And then going out and, going to other countries and seeing how other people live, and you realize that you know nothing about the world. Like what you think is the way that you should be living, it is not even right. I mean, it could be right if it makes you happy, but like it's not the only way. Like you grow up and you get told this is how you live and this is how you do and this is what to expect, and then you start traveling and you realize that it's not, and there's so much that you don't know and so much out there to learn and see. Also on this topic too, the so much that I don't know, I feel like traveling has also taught me more about myself too, and that there was so much more that I don't know about myself. I always knew that I didn't like where I was at, but I never really knew where I wanted to be. Like, I mean, I'm not dumb. I know I don't like the snow. I know I don't like the mountains. Like, I know I don't like any of that, but I didn't know, like, I knew there was somewhere out there, like, oh yeah, of course, like, California's sunny, I'd probably like there, and Arizona's pretty, and I'd probably like there, and Florida has a beach, I bet you I'd like there. But I never really knew what I liked or what I wanted until I actually got down there and got into those areas and was like, okay, I really like for example, I love California, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, but I prefer humidity, which I know people are probably like, you prefer the humidity? Who prefers the humidity? I prefer the humidity. I like the humidity. I think it's great. You don't have to put lotion on. My hair is a little frizzy, but at least it's not dead. You can breathe the air. Oh, that's a big one for me. And just like stuff like that. So like I've just learned so much more about myself and what I like to do and what I don't like to do and what's important to me. That's another big thing, is what I truly value in this life. I've learned through traveling because it's what I want to bring along with me and it's what I want to do while I'm traveling. The fourth thing that traveling has taught me is how to overcome my fears, and that I'm a lot more capable than I thought I was. I remember, still to this day, we drove a car through Mexico, and when I crossed over into Mexico, I was actually by myself. And that was the scariest thing that I've ever done in my whole entire life. And I'll be honest, I'm driving to the airport, and if I would have found the bridge back into the US before I would have found the airport, I honestly probably would have went back into the States because it was so scary. But luckily, gratefully, it was a fantastic trip. I found the airport first, but I mean, just like the fact that I went into Mexico, I'd only ever been out of the country one other time, and that's when I walked into Mexico for 5 minutes, and so it was my first time out of the US, into a country I can't speak, with laws and people and everything else that's just so different, and I did it. I 100% did it. And you know, I mean, even in like other circumstances when you're traveling and you're like, oh my god, I can't do this, or this is scary, or this is new, and then you just overcome your fear because you don't really have a choice. Like, I mean, what was I going to do in Mexico? Park and cry? Like, that wouldn't have got me anywhere. Run back across the border? Probably honestly would have, but luckily I didn't. You know what I mean? And so I think you just overcome fears because you don't have a choice. And so that's definitely one thing that traveling has taught me, is that I am capable of so much that if I want to do something, like, I can do it. Like, all you have to do is make up your mind and then you can do it. Really, guys, like, that is one of the biggest things, is that the only thing stopping you from doing something is yourself and your head. Which I know your head is sometimes really hard to get around, but that's really the only thing stopping you. Off that tangent now. So the fifth thing that traveling has taught me is to seek out true happiness, what makes you happy, and don't worry about what other people think you should be doing. Because the bottom line is you're not them and they're not you, and honestly, who cares what they think? You know what I mean? Like, if happiness is important, being happy is really freaking important. If going out and traveling makes you happy, or if dropping out of college to pursue your dreams is what makes you happy, do it. Who cares what other people think? They're not you, and they don't have to live your life. You have to live your life. And why would you want to live your life in a miserable state? Those are 5 of the life lessons that I have personally learned through traveling. I mean, obviously I've learned so much more. I feel like going out and traveling is probably better than an actual school education. I mean, yeah, traveling's not going to teach you calculus, but traveling will teach you life lessons, and it's going to teach you how to live your life, and it's going to teach you how to be happy. And it's going to teach you what you do like and what you don't like, and it's going to help you find yourself. And so I think that is it for today's video, and I will talk to you guys all hopefully next week. Bye!